It's that time again. Brawl Stars releases an update, and the community reacts to it. And unfortunately, a lot of the community response is misunderstandings. But since we have the full context, I'm gonna bring you guys through it. We're gonna look through some reactions. Some of them are pretty intense. I feel like we're getting used to that at this point. But there are a couple things that I agree could possibly become problems. I don't think that it's like the end of the world, though. Also, most of you who watch my videos don't even know that you're not subscribed, so do it. We're getting close to 1 million, and if you end up hating me, then you can change your mind. So I've already made the entire video on this, but at that point, I did not have any community feedback. Going into it, I was extremely excited. I was skeptical about the ranked pass because, you know, what? The ranked pass is not that good. I'm gonna be honest. That's probably the weakest part about this update. But it seems that most people think the gadget changes are the worst part of the update. That surprised me. And I really think half of the points that are being made are just misunderstandings. So I'll go through them and I'll try to explain them. So, Nubs community, join me. Let's try to form a reasonable response together. Under this tweet is a lot of very intense stuff. If you make a paid pass for this, I'm gonna be so disappointed in you. We have a pretty positive response from Panda. Man, I can't wait for more info on pro skin rarities. I'm personally not too excited about it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just past the point where I like getting skins. More money to waste. Oh, I mean, spend. Let's go. Ark seems pretty happy to spend his money on the ranked pass. Pika seems pretty upset about the battle pass. And, you know, Kashi says pay to win stars. Some people are happy. Some people are upset. It seems kind of mixed, but I would like to go through the ones that are calling it pay to win, or the ones that are upset that there is a pass in ranked, because I think it's a complete misunderstanding. What you get progression wise in the ranked pass, the paid one specifically I'm talking about, is almost nothing. It's essentially equivalent to buying the gems in the shop, and all else you really get are just some weak cosmetics plus the 5 tiers for the skin. So you get to finish the skin, you get like the special battle card, maybe the kill effect and stuff like that, so it turns it into a hypercharged skin. But free to play, you still get the skin, and then you get half of the stuff. And what's a little bit ironic about this is it's a buff to free to play progression in ranked, and there's pretty much zero pay to win being added in this update, but people are still calling it a trash pay to win update, bro. We can't escape it. There's a few things I don't like about the ranked pass though. One is the price, because $25 up front is quite a lot. I feel like a lot of people are going to struggle to be able to just say like, hey mom, hey dad, can I have $25 to spend on this mobile game right now? Like, I don't think that's going to happen. But also, I don't think this pass is worth it. I don't think the pass should exist. I'm just confused. Like, why does it exist if the paid side is borderline useless? Yeah, like this. Fixed game? No. So we added a pay-to-win pass for competitive system. It's the same price as buying the gems up front. Oh yeah, here it is again. Beware us Brawl Stars players. We cannot read. Dude, seriously. Like, why is everyone saying pay-to-win? It's just cosmetics. Yeah, I don't get it. It's like they're being mad for the sake of being mad. We have a couple more reactions here. One from Spen. Milk Hank. The gadget rework is potentially a great idea, especially to make those worser gadgets more appealing and make vanish 30 seconds in cooldown. However, I'm really scared of the possibility of a lot of green button spam. Now, what he's referring to with green button spam is the gadgets that will have a low cooldown. Since we know nothing, I don't want to form any really strong opinions, but I want to tell you guys what I'm expecting is going to happen. I think the weak gadgets that are currently never used or currently give no value are going to be really short cooldowns, so you'll get them maybe too frequently at the start. Maybe it's too fast. Everything else will probably be the middle of the pack. You'll be able to use it maybe like upwards of 8 times per game, which could be a bit much. And at that point, I don't know what they should do. Should they make the cooldowns longer, or should they figure something else entirely out? I think that's the main worry here, that there's going to be too many gadgets per game. But I did see a couple posts that are really blowing that out of proportion. Like this one here on Reddit. Me staring at my screen after getting stunned by Dynamite Stun for the 7th time in the same game. And the title says, and that's the best case scenario, 30-second cooldown and no gear. So what this post is saying essentially is the second the match starts, you pop your gadget. Every 30 seconds on the dot, you pop it again. No thoughts, you just use it. No strategy, you immediately use it. Then if the game goes to overtime and you tie, then you can get hit by the 7th Dynamite Stun if you somehow don't dodge any of them in a wide open overtime game that ties. This is what I'm saying when I say people are blowing it out of proportion. And I know it's a meme. I know it is, but it's one of those memes where it's like, is it supposed to be funny, or are they just taking their anger and turning it into a meme? Because I think that's what it is. With the title, it's kind of obvious. In the average game, you might see the same amount of dynamite stuns as you would before with a gadget gear. So you'd probably see like 4, maybe 5 5. If it goes to overtime, you might go into 6 territory, but 7 might be impossible. I think at least. Like, I'm pretty sure the average Brawl Stars game lasts a minute and a half to 2 minutes, which in that case, the most you could see is 3 or 4. But the difference is you can't spam it. If they waste it, you can punish them and you can have a window where they can't just pop it again and throw it at you back to back. But it does remove the aspect of the game where you have to choose, do I use my gadget now or do I save it because I'm gonna run out of them? That's a feature that some people are worried about losing, but it is being replaced with the other strategy of how can I abuse this window where they do not have their gadget for the next 30 seconds. I just don't think this is like an end of the world scenario because a lot of gadgets in this game need this extra factor to become balanced. Dynamite Stun, Lily Vanish, Squeak Residue, Gray Pull, anything like that. There's no other way to nerf them besides removing a charge from them in the current system or just flat out nerfing the gadget until it's not that good. So what do we want from this game? Do we want gadgets to be powerful or do we want them all to be mediocre? Because if there's one powerful gadget on a brawler, the other one's going to be weak and you're only going to use that one gadget. If a gadget is not powerful, you can use it more often. If it has a low impact, Shelly Dash, I don't know, Griff Coin Shower, you don't have to worry about it as much. And yes, that is green button spam, but it's not green button spam that's going to one-shot you. It's a small burst of utility that you get pretty frequently, but it's not like you're going to be using Squeak Residue back to back to back to back because you physically can't. I personally am a fan of the change, but it seems like most people are not because I think that they're going to get stunned by Dynamite 80 times. Yeah, like this. When Lily uses Vanish for the 6th time. I just don't think you're going to see it 6 times. I really don't. Unless you're going to overtime every single game. But at that point, I think it might be a different problem. How many more times is Supercell going to rework the competitive game mode until they settle on something they are pleased with? That is a good question. Part of me thinks this is what they want to be their final thing because we had Power Play, Power League, Ranked, and now they're killing Ranked and replacing it with Ranked. But this new Ranked seems like the finalized thing. They took so many problems and fixed them, but nobody's talking about that because there was this one change that might be bad, potentially could be bad. We have no idea yet, but that's like the main spotlight of what discussion is about. There are plenty of good things coming to Ranked. Will it be their final thing? Probably not, but I think the majority of what they're going to be changing from here on out is the Ranked Pass because again, like that pass just doesn't really need to exist. There's not much to it. I understand that it lines in with the competitive timing of Brawl Stars, how things go in that regard, but what I don't understand is how low value that pass even is. But if they make it more valuable progression wise, people are gonna flip out, so they shouldn't even do that. I just think that the Pro Pass doesn't need to exist, but it's for a different reason than usual. It's not like this is a really toxic feature. It's that I don't think players are getting much out of this feature. But if you want to spend your money, really the only reason you should buy it is if you like the skin that is in the pass. But yeah, I mean, as usual, we're always gonna have the tweets and the Reddit posts like this that say like, okay, the game is actually dying in front of our eyes. Like, is it really? Is this change really gonna be that bad? It's been such a long time since we've had a feature that shakes up the meta in this kind of way, and I feel like it's been a long time since we've had a feature that is made for the longevity of the game. They've blown through all of those years back, but this is another one of those where it's like we are sacrificing the potential for a worse season next season for every other season in the game to be better balance-wise. Now, if this doesn't work with the gadget cooldowns, I think their only other solution for balancing out the bad gadgets is to completely change them, buff them like crazy, or add more charges to certain gadgets. I feel like that is a little complex, but so is this. You have to memorize the timers for over 170 gadgets. And here's another tweet like this. This will ruin 3 things, +1 gadget gear. I don't really see how that will. 2, the meta, and 3, the game. But neither of these really explain why. I don't really understand why we have this doomsday mentality going into an update like this. I feel like years ago, this would have been extremely exciting, but in the current state of the game where everybody is just mad at Brawl Stars, this is the majority reaction. Again, I'm personally a fan of the update, and if that's an unpopular opinion, I don't care. I think it's gonna be fun. We may have some really goofy stuff come out of it that I complain about later. Like if a certain gadget just has a way too low cooldown, that might be a little bit annoying. They really need to stay on top of these changes if they want people to like it, because if they keep some broken stuff in the game for like more than 2 weeks, I think it's gonna be a problem. They really need to act fast with this. But yeah, those are my thoughts. This is not even the Brawl talk, guys. We haven't even gotten to that territory yet, and this is the reaction we're getting. We have no experience with these changes yet. It's like the potential that this could possibly be worse is already killing the game. If you're ever gonna leave a comment, I want you to leave it right now because I want to know what you guys think. What are your legitimate reasons of why you think this might be a horrible update? Or if you think it's gonna be a good update, tell me why. I want to know, because overall, I think it's good. I think there's a potential for some bad, but I do think it is good at the end of the day. Plus, what this means is finally I will have some interesting gaming content to post. We've been doing so much Reddit recently because I just don't know what to do in the game. So yeah, subscribe. We're trying to reach 1 million, and I will see you later. Have a good night.